Good morning. You could have been anywhere between 9 and 12. You chose to be with us, and for that, we are eternally grateful. Thank you, and thank you again for making Moment of Truth your 9 to 12 destination. We are just as happy to have you here as you are to be here. And what we must do then is continue to do this together every day between weekdays between weekdays between 9 and 12. This is how and where you will catch your favorite interaction, where you get motivation, entertainment, spirituality, current affairs. That's us, and that's what we do here on a daily basis. Good morning. Thank you. You guys rock. Now, the former lottery executive Philemon Ledwaba's pension frozen as a corruption probe hots up. Now, this is interesting. The pension of former National Lotteries Commissioner Chief Operating Officer Philemon Ledwaba has been frozen by the Special Tribunal. This followed an application for the preservation order by the Special Investigating Unit. The order was granted after a secret hearing before a judge on the 16th of September. Ledwaba resigned with immediate effect last month, just before he was due to appear at a disciplinary hearing. In terms of the order, the Liberty Group named a respondent in the application may not pay out pension benefits of 2.8 million rand due to Ledwaba, pending a final decision on an application that must be brought within 60 days. In a media release revealing the order, the SIU said it had approached the special tribunal on an urgent basis to freeze Ledwaba's pension benefits after he resigned, pending a disciplinary hearing into his role in the distribution of lottery funds to several non-profit organizations. The SIU has been investigating corruption involving lottery funds since President Cyril Ramaphosa signed a proclamation in November 2020 authorizing the unit to investigate the NLC. The SIU's investigation, as well as that of one of the publications that we get our sources from, over more than 4 years have placed Ledwaba at the heart of NLC corruption, that is the National Lotteries Commission, running into hundreds of millions of rands. So there are monies there that are apparently just doing the rounds where they're not supposed to. This is the lottery, by the way. The fight for the Amampondo Kingdom throne in the Eastern Cape is far from over after the acting regent, Queen Nobandla Stau, announced they are heading to the Constitutional Court to set aside the Supreme Court of Appeal ruling that dethroned King Zanozugo Stau posthumously. Acting Queen Nobandla Stau said her daughter, Princess Ziyanda Stau, through their lawyers, have declared intentions on behalf of the late King Zanozugo Stau to appeal the judgment passed by the Supreme Court of Appeal on the Mpondo kingship, overturning the decision of the Nhlapo Commission pertaining to ubukumkani beKauka Amampondo aseQaugeni. The intention to appeal comes after last week's Supreme Court of Appeal set aside recognition of the king who took over the throne in 2018 after the recommendation of the Nhlapo Commission. King Zanozugo died at the end of May this year, leaving a throne vacant, and Queen Nobandla is acting regent pending this appointment. However, the king never had it easy, as Prince Wezizwe Stau and her mother Lombegiso Makhosatsini Masobuza Stau took the matter to court and won, throwing the entire royal family into more wrestling. Princess Ziyanda said they have been informed that Queen Masobuza, a granddaughter of King Sobuza of Eswatini, called for a meeting for Thursday, and the meeting was illegal. It is understood that Queen Masobuza intends to use the meeting to announce that Princess Wezizwe would immediately start preparations to take over the throne following the court ruling. 4 suspects allegedly attacked 3 Eastern Cape traffic officials at a checkpoint on the R75 near Kwadwesi on Wednesday morning, 21 September. SAPS Colonel Priscilla Naidu said the incident occurred at about 10:42 in the morning. 3 cops, traffic cops, 2 women and a man were busy at a checkpoint. The man was standing at the roadside The woman was writing out summons, and the deceased was seated in the driver's seat of the vehicle while busy with documentation. Four men approached the man and pointed at him with a firearm before disarming him. It's alleged that the traffic cop sitting in the vehicle attempted to react to the situation, and the suspect shot her in the chest before taking her firearm as well. The four suspects fled on foot. The name of the deceased is withheld until the next of kin is informed. A case of murder and robbery aggravated will be investigated. In an unrelated incident in KwaZulu-Natal, a policewoman attached to the Durban Harbour Police allegedly shot and killed her boyfriend after she discovered a receipt for condoms in his trousers. She surrendered herself to the police after the shooting and is currently out on bail. Haibo. Former Black First, Land First Deputy Secretary General Zwelakhe Dubasi has apologized for utterances he made after the Hoërskool Driehoek tragedy, which claimed the lives of 4 pupils in 2019. But the party's national spokesperson, Lindsay Maasdorp, has yet to issue an apology. The two were ordered to apologize by the Equality Court in March for comments they made on social media about white children who died when a bridge collapsed at Vanderbilt Park School. The court also ordered the two to pay the families of the deceased children 50,000 rand each within 30 days. The court action was instituted by Solidarity and the victims' families. They had argued that the pair had made comments celebrating the children's deaths that had propagated racial hatred. The Equality Court found that the comments made by Maasdorp and Dubasi amounted to hate speech and ordered, as part of the remedy, that both apologize and that their apologies be communicated to the public by the South African Human Rights Commission. An elderly couple who lured investors to part with their money by investing in their business, which allegedly operated as a pyramid scheme, appeared in the Potchefstroom Magistrates Court on charges of fraud and money laundering worth 65 million rand. Benny Basson Otto, who's 68 years old, and Johanna Hendrina Otto, who's 69 years old, were arrested by the Hawks following investigations into allegations of fraud involving a Potchefstroom-based company called RSA Search Pty Ltd, which has an accommodation booking site with the same name, where Benny Otto is the company director. It's alleged that from 2011, the accused lured approximately 120 investors to invest in his business and promised them a 3% profit share per month from the income he would generate from advertising and subscriptions. It is alleged that the accused unlawfully lured investors under the false pretense that his company was a strong and solvent company and that he was conducting the profitable business. Benny Otto was charged with 69 counts of fraud and 31 counts of money laundering, while his wife was charged with a single count of money laundering. They were each released on 10,000 rand bail, and the matter was postponed to November 23rd for instructions for the attorney. That's crazy. And the more you think about it, I suspect this is happening more frequently than we give it credit for. The city of Johannesburg has proposed that Eskom revise its proposed tariff increase and at least 18.4%. The multi-party coalition says it rejects the power suppliers' request to raise the electricity tariffs to 38.1%. Eskom submitted an application to the National Energy Regulator, which is holding public hearings. Environment and Infrastructure Services MMC Michael Sun said that the proposed hike would cripple the economy. Well, yeah, the economy is being crippled anyway by the antics of Eskom. Still on the power situation, in response to nearly 2 weeks of rolling blackouts, Public Enterprises Minister Pravin Gordhan announced that 18 former Eskom employees with experience had been recruited. Heavy hitters who worked their entire lives at Eskom have been brought in. Eskom management has previously suggested bringing back former employees to address the power utility's lack of skills and capacity to run and maintain its energy plants. But the intensified rolling blackouts in the recent days have forced the department to have a change of heart. The department has greenlighted a plan that involves 18 former employees with technical skills spanning engineering and artisanship to be recruited back into the power utility. Let us see how far that gets us. 25 minutes now before 10 a.m. Billy Downer wants Jacob Zuma to pony up R1 million as security in a private prosecution. This is a tale about a legal wonderland where a senior state prosecutor becomes a defendant and an accused former president turns prosecutor. But there is a twist in this never-ending story. The state-employed defendant has approached the court to have the private prosecutor, former President Jacob Zuma, cough up at least R1 million as a security deposit in his case against the defendant. Things work differently in a private prosecution, Zuma has since discovered. The sting of Section 9(1) of the Criminal Procedures Act, at which that no private prosecutor referred to in the Section 7 of the Act shall take out or issue any process commencing the private prosecution unless he deposits with the magistrate's court in whose area the jurisdiction the offense was committed. Senior State Advocate Billy Downer has filed an interlocutory application with the Pietermaritzburg High Court seeking a review of the costs, and the magistrate had previously determined in respect of Downer's defense in a private prosecution initiated by former President Jacob Zuma. Noma Mngoma, who has now entered the men's market with a new suit line. Last year, Mngoma launched Suitably Noma, which is up until recently focused on bespoke women's suits. Now, our men's range is for the winners, the dreamers, and the doers, the guys who are the movers and shakers, the big names and the future stars, the businesswoman said in an Instagram post. She launched the spring men's range with an Instagram photo shoot. Nice looking suits, bespoke, meaning they're custom made, tailor made to suit whoever is going to be wearing them. And Noma bouncing back nicely with those, as that seems like very high fashion and a good look for somebody who definitely knows what they're doing in that field. Finally, and further afield in our continent of Africa, Guinea's military leader will attend Thursday Mali's 62nd anniversary celebrations. Mamadi Doumbouya landed Wednesday in Bamako. He was welcomed by Mali's military ruler upon arrival. The goodwill and working visit, as stated by the Malian communique, came on the eve of the two major events: Bamako's 62nd independence anniversary and a high-stake ECOWAS extraordinary summit in the sidelines of the UN General Assembly. Guinea's rulers insisted for the first event. He is quoted as saying, "I am in Bamako alongside my brother, President Assimi, to celebrate Mali's independence and to accompany the Malian people. Mali is a sister nation," Doumbouya said. And of course, we know that Guinea and Mali are like one lung, two organs in the same bodies. West African leaders will discuss transition timetables in New York. The military rulers have suggested to stay in power 3 years before handing over to the elected civilians. This brings us to the conclusion of our moment in current affairs, and there's plenty more where that came from. Stay tuned to the Moment of Truth. This